Got weak knees? Here's an unconventional way on how to strengthen your knees. Most of the time we're taught to strengthen our quads, to strengthen our knees, but here's another exercise. You're going to lean against the wall, okay, about like this. I just raised my leg. You're going to lift your toes, toes up. You're going to lift your toes. It's going to exercise this muscle, your tibialis, just this muscle along your shin bone. This actually helps you strengthen your knees. So all you're going to do is lean against the wall, toes up, 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 toes up. You can stand here and you can go toes up, toes up, toes up, but you want to go against the wall just so that you have that support. And if you want to make it harder, then you just put your legs out more and you'll go toes up, toes up, toes up. You want to do about 25 reps 3 times a day. This should help strengthen your knees. Follow me on TikTok.
I've been suffering from COPD, and I read that in prevention that acupuncture was one of the ways to get some of the more deleterious effects of COPD to go away. So I thought, well, you know, I'm taking all these meds and all this, let's give it a whirl, you know. And I've been coming here for 3 months, and my CAT scan came back last week, all organs within normal parameters. And so I would recommend yin acupuncture to anybody who's suffering from allergies or COPD or even chronic pain.
Say, influences your cognitive function and plasticity of your brain. Intermittent fasting is where you are doing it, you're not fasting the whole day. You maybe just skip 1 meal. Let's say you have 3 meals in a day and you just skip 1 meal, okay? Because they found right here, when they did it every other day for 2 or 4 months, they observed it protects your neurons in your hippocampus, which, remember, is your learning, your ability to learn, and your ability to remember, right? Every other day, intermittent fasting for 2 to 4 months. I do not recommend fasting for 2 to 4 months. I know there's some fasting diets out there. I don't recommend that, because when you fast, initially it's great because your body's detoxing and it's clearing things up, but then your brain is smart. It's gonna switch a gear. It's gonna start thinking, oh no, I'm not getting food. If I'm not getting food, I better stop eliminating and I better start storing. So not only does it stop eliminating, which means it retains toxins now. So your body is generating toxins and it's retaining it, because it's afraid that, oh, I can't get rid of stuff because I'm not getting fed. So I don't recommend just straight on, you know, fasting. Intermittent fasting is great. Is eating in an 8-hour window just as good? Intermittent fasting is more like 12 to 16 hours. The easiest thing that most people do is they skip breakfast. They eat an early dinner, which is about 6 p.m. And then they skip the breakfast and then they eat an early lunch around 11 a.m. That's the most commonly done. What I recommend is the opposite. I recommend you eat breakfast, eat a great lunch, and skip dinner, right? Because dinner is a time that we typically overeat, right? So that's why I recommend doing it that way. You can do this every 2 to 4 months, to 2 to 4 months, and then go back to regular eating. And then you can go back again, regular eating for a month, and then go back to intermittent fasting again, okay? Intermittent fasting activates something called autophagy. Autophagy is our body's ability to self-clean. It's our self-cleaning program. That system, that program only is activated when we are fasting. That's why when you sleep, you probably have heard, if you haven't heard this, the time our bodies does the most healing is when we're sleeping. Why? Because we're fasting. When we're fasting is when autophagy kicks in, okay? All right, foods to avoid, right? So I introduced some of the foods that are great to eat and to supplement, right? But there are some foods that are known to accelerate the degeneration of your brain and your nervous system and your nerves, right? So if you have a family history of Parkinson's or Alzheimer's, if you want to accelerate that, then eat these foods. If you don't want that, then avoid these foods. Diets rich in saturated fats and refined sugars lead to poor neuronal performance, which is poor communication within your brain. Rats that were fed with this AKA junk food for a period of 1 to 2 months performed significantly worse on the spatial learning. It only took 1 to 2 months of eating junk food. So for those, just imagine for those people who have eaten junk food for years, how much damage have they done to their nervous system, to their brain, right? Like all of these neurological conditions, they don't happen overnight. It's over years of accumulation. Thank God our bodies are so resilient that in the beginning, our bodies help eliminate the junk that we put into our mouths. But our bodies can take just so much, right? And then as we get older, our body is just like, I don't know about you, but like as my parents got older, they got crabbier. Okay, they got less. They were as tolerant. Okay. It may just be my parents. I don't know. But my parents eat healthy though, and they're still crap. But you know, it just takes 1 to 2 months of crappy eating to start ruining your nervous system. First, you start feeling pain, then you start feeling tingling, numbness, right? Tremors. Those are just symptoms. Even more alarming is the high fat consumption, saturated fats, okay, exacerbated the effects of the experimental brain injury. So if you are prone to hitting your head, eating saturated fats and refined sugar, it is just making things even worse. Your brain will not recover. So what are saturated fats? Animal-based products. Tropical oils like coconut oil and palm oil. But animal-based products, saturated fats. You'll notice above, all of the foods above that were mentioned were like vegetarian, right? So I'm not saying to do vegetarian, because vegetarian by itself is also not healthy for an extended time, but being more in a vegetarian, veering more towards vegetarian is going to help your nerves more than going towards an animal-based, like paleo, definitely not Atkins, but you could do a modified paleo with less animal protein, with maybe lean meats, okay? So animal protein in general does not help your nervous system. That's the point. So the conclusion from this study, which I thought was very interesting, the brain's ability to fight neurological disorders and recover from injury is largely dependent upon our lifestyle choices, which is diet and exercise. We all know that, right? It's like everybody says that, but it's not easy to do, right? I know, I love to eat. I love to eat everything. But for me, Monday through Friday, I am super disciplined. I eat the same thing. Morning, I eat a vegan protein shake. Lunch, I eat tofu. I eat a salad. I eat one egg, 4 ounces of tofu, organic tofu, salad. My dressing is oil and vinegar that I make myself, or my in-laws make for me. And dinner, we eat organic brown rice and some type of Asian vegetable. I eat that 5 days, Monday through Friday. And so on the weekends, now that's when I cheat, okay? Because I like to eat. But majority of what I would say it's like 80-20 rule. 80% of what I eat is super healthy. So it is your choices, right? Exercise does help your nervous system, right? But exercise, right? The exercise, it helps, but it doesn't help you restore and reverse as much as just the diet. But you need to do both. You can't just choose one, right? So these healthy dietary choices facilitate synaptic transmission, improve cognitive ability, and create a positive brain environment for overall health. So you want to improve, if you want to improve your synaptic transmission, or basically communication between your nerves, right? You have to do these things on a daily basis. No one is immune to these, okay? What about B vitamins? Aren't they? Yes, B vitamins are very important. And especially when we're treating neuropathy, when you go to a neurologist, they actually made a vitamin into a medication. It's called Metanex. It's just B12, Metanex. It's just a high dose of B12. It has not been shown to be better than over-the-counter supplement B12, okay? So yes, B12, B6, B1, all of these vitamins do encourage nerve growth. And yes, those are found a lot in animal protein, right? That's why I'm saying a complete vegetarian diet is not healthy. You do need animal protein, right? One of the best animal proteins to eat that can help your neurological condition. Who likes some liver and onions? I love liver. Liver, like organ meats have been given a bad rap, you know, saying, oh, it raises your cholesterol. I mean, yeah, the way you prepare it, if you fry it, right? MCT isn't good for you. No, MCT is good for you, David. It is good for you, but in mild, right? But liver, because liver, it's one of the, when you eat liver, it actually helps your liver function better. And your liver is super important. It's one of the most important organs in the body. That's probably why it's the only one that can regenerate, because that's how important it is, right?